and welcome to Boston Seniors Count. I'm your host, Fran Janine. You know, on our show, we believe that you are the foundation on which Boston was built. So our goal is to connect you to resources, benefits, and all types of information to enhance your life. We want to thank you very much for joining us. My guest today is Janet King. Janet, a lot of you might know, goes way back. She's a nurse. And today she is from the Hyde Park Food Pantry. You see, Janet was a nurse for many years, retired, and then started volunteering at the Hyde Park Food Pantry. And from there, she grew. Right, Janet?
Yes, and thank you for inviting me, Fran.
Well, you do so much. And you know, there's so much going on right now. There's EBT, there's food stamps, there's food banks, there's food pantry. I mean, everything is so confusing to everybody. I know some of the seniors say, what can I apply for?
All of them.
They're eligible for everything.
Yes.
Okay, but you're an emergency food pantry
yes.
in Hyde Park.
In Hyde Park, we're considered an emergency food pantry, which means we'll give you enough food for 2 or 3 days to tide you over till your other supplements come in.
Which could be what?
But
The
food
EBT
stamps,
card?
yes.
Okay, so in other words,
Social Security checks.
right, food stamps they get, and then an EBT card, they can go in any grocery store and slide it through
Yes.
and get free food all month long.
Yes, the EBT card is used instead of passing out the coupons that we used to get for food stamps.
Right, okay. Now to come to a food pantry, they can go to that.
Yes.
And they can go to the emergency food pantry.
Or you go to one or the other.
I see,
It
okay.
isn't, double dipping is discouraged because when you take extra food, that means somebody else is going without.
All right. So somebody that lives, we'll say, Mattapan.
Mattapan, Hyde Park does not service. We will refer you to one of the several food pantries in Mattapan.
Right.
You need a voucher, which in Hyde Park you get at the local churches.
So any church,
any
it doesn't matter
church.
what your faith is.
No.
You just go to any church and they give you.
It's a voucher, it has your name and address on it. They're good for 6 months at a time. And they give you, they tell us how many dependents there are and what their age bracket is.
So how many children that you
there
have?
is, whether they're under 12 or 12 to 19 or 20 to 25 on up to the senior citizens.
So if there was a whole family, mother, father, and all the children, and say there's 6 people in the house, all right, so they would get, let's just say the Baptist church. They went to a Baptist church. Yes. All right, so they got their voucher and they can come. Now, the Hyde Park Food Pantry, for those of you who are listening, and we're just going to use Hyde Park, but there's so many others. The municipal building, a lot of people know Hyde Park Municipal Building, right in Logan Square, 1179 River Street. It's been there forever. And that's where the food bank is, and its pantry, it's on the first floor, which makes it so easy for seniors.
Yes.
Walk right in.
You walk in the handicap access entrance, and we're right there.
It makes it so much easier for everybody. So, all right, using that then, all right, let's just say I'm coming in, okay? And I should bring bags with me?
Yes, we encourage you to bring the cloth bags that you can buy in the supermarkets and the other stores.
Right.
Because they last longer than the plastic.
Right, and you can, because sometimes it gets heavy.
Yes.
What you're going to carry out. So whether you're in a car or somebody's driving you or you're taking the bus, you're going to have those bags.
Yes.
So using that then, Janet, if I came in now with 2 bags and I had gone to, say, the church, the Baptist church, and I said, I'm a mother and I'm going through a bad divorce, or, you know, even my husband has lost his job or whatever, and there's 6 children in the household, I need food, okay? So I would hand you this slip from the church?
Yes, which we record your name on our master client list.
Okay.
We give you, then I sign you in on a sign-in slip.
Okay.
And punch a hole for the month that you came in.
Okay, so he came in
and
May.
give it back to you so you have it for the next month. And then one of the other volunteers will take you into the back rooms. We have one room is freezers for frozen food. We have the stock room, which you're not allowed to go into. And then we have the back room, which is stocked more or less like a supermarket. We have coolers. We have a cooler for dairy products. We have shelving for canned goods and dry goods. And we have three freezers and 2 refrigerator freezers.
Filled with food.
With food.
God bless you.
Not necessarily filled, but we try.
But there's food there, in other words.
Yes, and depending on the size of the family, you're told how much you can take.
Okay, so you're walking, so I would have my bags, and I could walk down, let me see, I could walk through where the food is.
Yeah.
And this is we bought some of the food to give you an idea of the type, is everything that you could want for your family when you think about it. Everybody would take one of those, right? The Stacy chips, right? Those are
snack
the bagel chips,
yeah. It's considered a snack, and it's, if we have it, you get it. If we don't, well, we're sorry, but we didn't get any.
Right.
Our staples are the peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Everybody wants the peanut butter, right?
Canned goods.
Canned goods. This is the diced tomatoes. Look at all the lima beans
are rather popular.
Yeah. Kidney beans.
Kidney beans.
Oh my goodness, look at the stuff. Now they can take one of each.
They can take one of each.
If it's out on the rack.
Yes.
Look at that. Pink salmon.
Salmon, that's unusual. That just came in last week.
Wow. And what is this one? Chicken.
That's ground chicken. We went I shouldn't say few because I don't know how many.
Yeah.
But we do have frozen meats that are donated.
This
and
is
we have ground chicken. We had
hot dogs.
Chicken franks.
Chicken
this
franks,
week.
okay.
Sliced ham.
Sliced ham. What's the back one?
And it's a sausage.
Sausages.
Yes.
And so in other words, as I walk down the shelving, I can put these all in my bag.
Well, these are kept in the freezers in the front room, and they're usually bags are already pre-made.
I see.
And this week it was the ground chicken, the
hot dogs,
the chicken dogs, and
sausage.
A sausage, and we have a sliced ham, and we had packages of chicken legs or chicken wings.
So in other words, I could put all that in my bags. Look at this. Oh, I'm taking these. Raisins, we got raisins.
Yeah, that's something as extra we have.
But then there's carrots, vegetable soup, spaghetti sauce, vegetarian beans. So I could get all of this, noodles. Look at this. Rice, elbows,
oats for oatmeal.
And what are these? Oh my goodness, look at this. The pasta. So in other words, anything that's there, you're not going to say no to me.
No, but you'll only be allowed like one bag.
One bag. But then in the freezer, you have other stuff. You're saying because as you go along with it.
We have donations of pastry.
Okay.
Which is, we're getting an influx of croissants.
Right.
And we have muffins sometimes, cookies, pies, cakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tomatoes,
it's
vegetables?
It's a good variety.
Yeah.
And if you see something you don't want, you can just say no thank you.
You don't take it.
You don't take it. Or, as I say, take it, give it to a friend, a relative, or an enemy. There's always somebody there's always somebody out there that can use it.
Well, that's true. There is always somebody who can use it.
We say, just please don't throw it away.
So all right. So I've walked into I've signed up. I've been with my 2 bags. I've gone down through one of the rooms you're saying. So I picked out all the canned goods and some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I've gone to the freezer part where there's vegetables or whatever.
We frequently have fresh produce.
Right, which you said you had cucumbers and
well,
tomatoes.
It varies. Last week we had tomatoes and lettuce.
Good.
Generally, we have potatoes, carrots.
So in other words,
and even fruits, it varies from
you have milk
week to week. Sometimes this week we get milk, coffee milk and strawberry milk, and I'll tell you, 23 bottles don't go too far. 24 bottles.
How many? Just out of curiosity, how many people would you have maybe on a Tuesday, say?
I've used this week, for example. This is not generally what we have. But Tuesday we did 60 families.
60 families
60.
came in?
Today we did 49.
And there was
A
that
week
much
ago,
food that
yeah,
everybody can
We're
get?
pretty much cleared out. A week ago today, we only did 15 families, so
Okay.
it varies.
So now
It
the
must be
food
the
has
nice
gone down.
weather.
The stock has gone
Gone
down.
down.
So now what happens? You call
Well,
the food bank? What do? You call who's in charge? Okay, tell me who's in charge first of all. You have a board of directors.
We have a board of directors, and Joe Consalvo,
Okay.
who's Rob Consalvo's cousin,
Right,
and it's
yeah.
Rob's father that started the food banks.
Right, which a
And
lot
when
of
he-
people know the Consalvo
yeah.
family.
And Joe, we get a delivery on Tuesday. One of my volunteers makes a list of what we need and we use on stock. I email it in Tuesday night to a board member
I
who
see.
orders it from the food pantry. That order has to go in on Wednesday morning. She orders the food. It is delivered Thursday. Joe Consalvo sends one of his trucks and drivers over to pick it up Monday
Wow.
afternoon, and they deliver it to the pantry. We have our volunteers come in to unload the truck and put the stuff away,
So they have to stock
so we can
everything.
open up Tuesday morning.
I see. Wow. But then I noticed that you were talking about the one that last month. Now you get donations from BJ's.
We get donations from BJ's, from Stop and Shop, from Shaw's.
Costco's.
No, we don't
Not
get them for
Costco's,
Costco's.
BJ's.
BJ's. This Saturday afternoon, we will be getting the food picked up by the postal
the post
service.
office this weekend,
Yes,
for
post office,
those of
yes.
you who know, if you
so
get to see
this
the
is
show,
an
yeah.
extra day the volunteers come in.
And everybody will help. But
yes.
see, many stores also donate canned goods,
Yes.
food like this. So everything's wrapped, and you check every single
We
thing.
have to. We check them. We check the dates.
Right.
Now you have your sell-by date.
Yes, sell by, right.
That's
It says it on-
sell-by.
Yeah, sell by, right,
That's different from your shelf date
yeah. Okay,
or your expiration date.
I see, okay.
And even with expiration dates, they could still be good for 6 months.
So it says best buy,
Yes.
but 6 months later, you could still
as
have
long as the can is not bulging.
not open. You could still
we
use
can
it. I
still
see what
use
you're
it.
saying.
And the stuff donated over Saturday afternoon, we will go over it.
You check every single thing to be
every
on the,
single item.
to make sure
Sure,
that
it's still usable.
right. Now all the volunteers do this, and you have
Yes.
5 or 6 volunteers.
We have a lot more than that.
You do?
and
Okay. Well, I've
I
seen
think today I had 7, 8 volunteers come in.
come in to help.
Yeah,
Now
help.
they walk down the aisles in the different rooms with the people who are coming in to get their
Yes,
stuff
everybody's escorted through the back
Right.
rooms.
for it. So they're not
It's,
left alone and
No,
everything
we're
works out.
considered a client choice where they can take or refuse.
I see, which makes it very nice.
Yes.
And especially when there's that frozen chicken. Everybody loves to get all of
Yes,
that.
chicken is a big thing.
Right. And then, of course, the holidays, you have the turkey and you have the ham.
Thanksgiving, we have turkey. Other than, we stock purposely for Thanksgiving with
Right,
the turkeys.
with the turkeys.
Other times, other holidays like Easter, we had extra hams donated.
Right,
We do not go out and buy them like we do the turkeys.
right. See, now when you say you buy them, this is all money that's donated to the
Yes.
food bank from people who can afford to donate.
They donate. Or we have some that come in once a month and leave $2 or leave $3. I make sure it goes into an envelope and their name is put on a sheet of paper. I try to get their address. So
lot of
the
people
board
don't
of
get it.
directors, a lot of them refuse.
Yeah.
But I turn them into at the board of directors meeting and
Right.
they can get an acknowledgement.
Right, and some of them come in with a $100 bill. Some
Oh,
of them
yeah,
come
or
in
they'll
with
come in
$50.
with a check. Those
Right.
checks I don't put in the envelope. I make sure Joe Consalvo gets it.
Gets it. So in other words, it's a combination of all many people helping. People
It's
coming,
people helping people.
donating it, first of all, then all of you working with it, Consalvo making sure it all runs good.
good, yes.
All right, and you as the man, and then you go with the food pantry volunteers, and look at all the people who are getting something from it.
Yes.
Right, and so if they don't live in that neighborhood, they can go to another neighborhood.
We can give them what we call an emergency, which will take them 24 hours. And then,
So that's food. That's in other
food,
words, they can come
yes.
and get food.
And you're allowed to do that once.
Okay.
After that, you have to get a voucher to get the food monthly. And if you're not from Hyde Park, I have a list of the pantries throughout the area.
Okay, so this is
Like
food
Mattapan,
pantries we're talking
Dorchester,
about. Right.
Rosendale, and even other Milton and other places. You come in and say, well, I live here.
Right.
I'll pull my book and look up the local pantry in your area and give you the name and the address and telephone number.
Right.
You'll have to call to find out the hours or if they're still there, because my list is quite old.
Well, yeah, but the list changed, which we all knew. Because the big one is at 1010 Mass Avenue.
Yes.
Which a lot of people know that road has got everything on it.
Yeah.
1010 Mass Avenue,
Yeah.
you could go if you really...
And you can go to Salvation Army, St.
Salvation
Vincent de
Army.
Paul's.
Right.
Check with your local churches. A lot of them have their own pantries.
Right. And they're not going to say no to you. That's the best part.
Yes.
They are going to tell you yes.
If they can't accommodate you, they'll tell you where you can
Right.
get help.
And then, yeah, you can also apply for the different things. To get an EBT card, that's all changed now. You don't have
Yes.
to, I mean, they don't take in consideration you owning a house. They don't take all of
they're
that.
not supposed to take in consideration your pension or
Right.
your retirement or
Right.
investments.
Right. And you know, some people think, oh, well, I get $3,000 a month, right? But you have a house, you're
You
paying
still
for
have
everything.
your living expenses.
You sure do. And so maybe you're in your 70s and it's running tight. You're eligible. You're eligible. Do not be afraid. That's what America is all about. And it's there to help each and everybody. Maybe you got 2 kids, you know, and your husband is struggling, he's working and you're struggling. You could be eligible to go to the food bank. And don't be afraid.
I know on the
It's not
application,
embarrassing.
there's a section for income. But when I get my copy of the application, which goes into my files and nowhere else,
Right.
that is not marked off. That is none of my business.
Right. So you don't even see that.
I don't see it, I don't ask it.
Right. And there are many people who are living on $30,000 a month or living on what? It's really,
You know anybody living on 30,000?
excuse me, I meant 30,000 a year. You know, they're raising children. There is just so much that really and truly are 2 sisters living together, you know, at home. They're eligible for some of this. And it's free. It's not going to charge against you. They're not going to put you down. It's unbelievable when you think about it. And it's there for people who are in America. And every single neighborhood, all 19 neighborhoods, have food pantries,
Yes.
food banks, right? And they're eligible to go.
And our food bank services just Hyde Park.
Right.
But you have others that service anywhere.
That's
you can
right,
go
too.
in no matter what part of the city you're from.
Right. And like I know that in Norfolk County, some people seniors were talking about, do they have it? Yeah, Dedham has one. right?
Yes.
Dedham has a nice big food pantry. And these are all for people who need it. Don't be afraid or ashamed or think.
No, don't be ashamed. Your next door neighbor is in the line too.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with it. You're getting food that's been donated or right from the stores. There's nothing wrong with the food. That's the whole thing. This is rice. Look at, I'm squeezing it. It's not coming out. Right? And everything is good. Long grain rice. Everything is perfect.
We stock long grain and we stock the whole wheat.
The right ones too. It's everything when you think about it. Don't be ashamed. Really think about this. If maybe you have a relative that you could help, go to get them something that they needed. Food banks, food pantries, EBTs, everything, and the food stamps have been around for years, right?
Yes.
You used to be able to go to get WIC. Remember those who still get WIC?
I have a notice on my bulletin board where you can go to a WIC on Truman Highway in Hyde Park.
Right, to get the Truman and get one of that. Yeah.
A, B, C, D, and,
Right.
and Rosendale.
Right.
They have a fresh produce truck that comes in. Used to be every 2 weeks, I think, on a Wednesday afternoon.
Right. And they can
And
get
you
all.
can get free It used to be called buck a bag. It's gone up to $2 a bag.
But you fill it up as high as you want.
Oh yeah,
know-
they say bring your own bag, and they will provide you with bags
Right,
too, and they're large bags. They're not little
No.
small things.
So don't be afraid or ashamed or think this is wrong. This is happening all over the city. I mean, it's happening in East Boston, it's happening in
Yes.
Austin, Brighton, it's happening in Mission Hill. No matter where you come from, you will find it. And you can always call City Hall. You can always call the Elderly Commission. Remember the live voice, and you could say, gee, you know, I live in a little tiny place right off of Rosendale. Where can I go to get food? You know, where is this great food bank is? You'd be surprised at the ways you're going to give people say. You'll say, yeah, I live in Big Dorchester, but, you know, I live near Grove Hall. Where can I go to get a food bank?
I think there's about 8 food pantries in Dorchester.
In Dorchester, right, there is. It's because there's so many people there when you
yes.
think about it. Now, with 85,000 seniors in the city, right, and over, 700,000 people to begin with, quite a lot of people need the extra help.
Yes.
And you know what? God has given it to you through people like Janet who help volunteer at the food pantries, right? You've got all the other people coming in. Watching them bag the groceries is really something. It's one of this, one of that, one of that, one of that.
It's watching them try to take the bags out.
Yes, they're heavy, and they say, oh, I can take this home. No, you don't take it home. This is for all the seniors. So it's really interesting when you really go. So don't feel that, you know, something's wrong if you decide you want to do that, right, Janet?
Yes. I keep saying, where were these pantries when I could have used them when my kids
Right.
were small?
It's true, right? I mean, you had 5 children.
Yes.
You know, so it makes a big difference, right? I know I was left with 3 children, so it's really something else when you think about it. Janet, thank you for taking the time. I know you work today, you service people.
It's a privilege.
Good, thank you, because she enjoys it so much, and all the volunteers there enjoy it.
The volunteers are great.
I know. Remember, it's all good food. You're not just going to be given some apples, you know, or a can of peanut butter. You get quite a lot, right? You know, what can I say? The Elderly Commission is there for the seniors, but it also helps everybody too. You can always call them. They have an answer for you for just about everything. May take a minute for them to look it up, but they'll find it. So we want to thank you for watching Seniors Count. You know, this show has been brought to you by the Mayor of Boston. Now it's Marty J. Walsh and our Commissioner, Emily Shea. You know, to contact the Elderly Commission is so easy, really. You can call City Hall, or you can call the main number, 617-635-4366. Or remember, the Mayor's Hotline, which is a 24-hour hotline, you can call anytime, and there's a live voice, 617-635-4500. And if you're into the computer, you can email them, elderly@boston.gov. You can also find the Elderly Commission on Facebook, and I know a lot of seniors are enjoying Facebook, really and truly. Elderly Commission has been there to serve you. Started way back when Collins, believe it or not. That was so many years ago.
Yes.
And it's there for you. Enjoy it. Call, go to the events, and use the services. Thank you for watching Boston Seniors Count. You are special.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed days, dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself,